Everybody, it's Tara Greene here, and I've come on a minute early, kind of done this myself, just to make sure that everything is going okay. Whoops, there we go. Okay, just got on here. So, hi everybody, it is Tara Greene, Agent 129 of the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. I'm up in Toronto, Canada here, welcoming you to November's Astrology and Tarot Card Preview. Now, I am on a minute early, so I'm going to wait a bit for people to come on. So please come on and say hi. Now, if you're a Cosmic Intelligence Agency fan, you'll know how this works. If you're a newbie, if you know me from X or from TikTok or from you're a client of mine, I have many people that I know that I meet. Please come on and say hi and let me know where you're from. Okay, so I'm going to wait a few seconds. I'm kind of got my smudge on here. This is the Halloween kind of November's preview here. So if you haven't been here before, hi Alice. Just come on and say hi and let me know where you're from. Cosmic Intelligence Agency is based in Melbourne, Australia, and we usually get people from all over the world joining. Again, I'm Agent 129, Tara Greene, up here in Toronto, Canada, welcoming you here tonight. Somebody from New York City. Good. Alice is from New York. Nice to see you. We were just saying New York's 500 miles away from Toronto as the crow flies. Hi, Laura from Melbourne, from South Florida. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to the November Astrology and Tarot Preview. Somebody from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome. I guess it's early in the morning next day for you in Melbourne. So it's October the 30th here. So I'm just going to wait again a few more minutes for people to come on. I kind of promoted this on X and on TikTok. Hi from Arizona, my favorite place, my second home, Sedona, Arizona. So from Darwin, another person from Australia. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. So I'm up here in Toronto, Canada. It's the day before Halloween. And I thought it was best to do this today here so that because people are going to be out trick-or-treating. Halloween is a big thing in North America here, and lots of adults get out and party. And of course, most people had their parties on Saturday, but there's going to be trick-or-treating and handing out candies and apples to kids. All right, so I'm just smudging everybody here virtually. So again, I'm going to wait a couple more minutes for people to join. So if you haven't been here before, I will go through all of the aspects, major aspects of the planets during November, and there's a lot going on. And then I will be pulling tarot cards for each sign. So starting with Aries and moving to Pisces, and we're moving from the Scorpio time of year into the more optimistic Sagittarius time of year on the 22nd. So yes, this is the days when the veil between the worlds are thinnest, and I am actually an initiated Greene witch, which means somebody who's an herbal witch. And I remember being a witch in a past life for many, many lifetimes, right? And I'm sure you do too. So let's just jump into the November astrology. I've got my notes here. So this is kind of like the astrology weather report. Okay, so now, thank you. If you're here, then you made it through eclipse season. It was pretty intense for the last couple of weeks. But remember, it's not all over. The effects of an eclipse last 6 months. So until we get to the next eclipse season in April, we're still dealing with the ripples from both eclipses, the total solar eclipse in Libra and the recent one in Taurus. Now, there's going to be a new moon. This is a little bit of an overview here first. New moon, November the 13th at 20 degrees of Scorpio. A full moon, November the 27th at 4 degrees of Gemini. So if you have planets near those degrees, then pay attention because you know that the new moon and the full moon will be aspecting you directly. Now, the big thing, Saturn will finally turn direct November the 4th. It's been retrograde since June 17th, which seems like a very, very long time ago. And so then we're going to begin to see things move ahead. And yes, I'm answering questions here. Eclipse seasons affect sleeping and dreams. Yes, very much so. I had a very powerful lucid dream the night of the eclipse. I was given 3 words in Latin, which I'm still trying to figure out what they mean. So yes, so pay attention to your dreams, especially. That's been triggered. So Saturn at 0 degrees of Pisces. We're back where we were March the 12th. So now Saturn is going to march forward, okay, into deeper Pisces depths. Okay, now Venus enters Libra, her home sign, November the 8th until December the 4th. So that's good for all the Librans and for Tauruses too. Venus in her other home sign, Libra. It's good for relationships and hopefully peacemaking, because everybody's aware of what's going on in the world. I didn't want to start talking about that right away, but Venus in Libra hopefully will bring some kind of peace talks or some kind of rebalancing in the world, justice, something of that nature. It is good for events and things like that. Now, for all of you who are Pisces, yes, Saturn is going to give you some big karmic lessons for the next 2 years. Okay. Latin or maybe Sumerian, Akkadian, or okay, good point. Thank you. I'll check that out. Okay, Mercury, the planet of communications. He's known as Thoth or Hermes. He's the messenger of the gods. He represents our consciousness, our minds, our ability to focus, to clarity, to communicate. Okay, he's the power of intention. He's a trickster as well. So Mercury enters Sagittarius November the 9th or the 10th, depending on what time zone you're in, until December the 1st. Now, Mercury is considered to be in detriment in Sagittarius because it's opposite the sign it rules. I have Mercury in Sagittarius. So, it's like your mind gets more all-encompassing, but it's good for truth. So if you want some truth to out, that's when Mercury is in Sagittarius, a fire sign, the last of the fire signs, supposedly sage wisdom. Okay, and then the big day, November the 17th is a big day, so mark this one. The Sun and Mars have a cazimi. They have a big meetup in the sky, and that is a pretty important event, and I'll get into that a little bit better. Now, Sagittarius season starts November the 22nd, so, we're in the depths, the darkest of the seasons. I know there is a North American, preponderance in astrology, because most of the continents are above, the equator, and it all mainly started above the northern hemisphere, as far as we know. So we're in the dark, the depths. This is again it is Witches' New Year, October 31st. The year ends. It is called Samhain to pagans, and the New Year is birthed on November the 1st, which has become secularized as All Saints' Day and Christianized as All Saints' Day. It's the Day of the Dead in Mexico. I think that's a very ancient cross-border day, kind of, because November the 1st, the 2nd is again another cross-border day. Mars enters Sagittarius as well, November 24th into 2024. So again, we're moving into more fire and air, what's considered to be masculine, aggressive elements. Everything's been in earth and water. Now, again, All Saints' Day, Day of the Dead. Mercury in Scorpio is in conjunct Chiron now. Soin. Okay, Samhain, Soin. Thank you for that. The energy, okay, Mercury in Scorpio, quincunx is Chiron. So a quincunx, for people who don't know this aspect, it is when planets are 150 degrees apart. Okay, they're in different elements. They don't know each other. They don't speak the same language. They are basically in blind spots to another. So again, Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries right now, we may not be able to speak how we're feeling. We may be feeling numb, actually, not comfortably numb. All right, now a big day. November the 2nd or the 3rd, the Sun and Jupiter are opposite each other at 10 plus degrees, Scorpio, Taurus. So the last time these two big lights were in opposition at this very same degree was in 1940 during World War II. Now, just before that, a solar eclipse on April the 7th, 1940, at 18 degrees Aries went across the U.S. from coast to coast. Now, when an eclipse is visible under a certain country, they are very powerfully affected by that eclipse where it's most visible. But the U.S. didn't enter the war until December 41. Now, but on April the 8th, 2024, this is when we're getting into the next big eclipse season, there's going to be another solar eclipse at 19 Aries, which will also cross the U.S. from coast to coast, echoing the very same energies. And in 1939, Uranus, the planet of uranium, which has to do with atomic bombs energies, revolution, rebellion, freedom, was also at 22 degrees of Taurus. It's pretty much around those degrees right now at the start of World War II. Uranus entered Gemini August 41. The U.S. joined the war 4 months later. And in 2023, Uranus is in Taurus at the same degree. And this is a Uranus return. So Uranus is the wild card, the chaotic, rebellious planet, and it enters Gemini in July of 2025. Now, the Sabian symbol for Jupiter, I just thought I'd look this up, is a woman sprinkling flowers. And it's about the soul's determination to give constant and tangible manifestations of its creative powers. And the keyword is care. I think we all need to care more these days. All right. On the 4th, Saturn turns direct at 0 degrees, 31 minutes Pisces. Again, back to where we were March 11th or 12th. Moving forward, but Saturn is always restrictions, obstacles, testing. In terms of religion, we can see this right now. It could be like religious persecution, even psychics being persecuted, water restrictions, religious restrictions, tests of spiritual realities, and also spiritual tests as well, karmic endings, self-sabotage, addictions, big oil. A lot of this, what's going on in the Middle East, is over the oil in the Mediterranean, outside of Israel and Gaza and off of Lebanon. Secret enemies, surrenders, mental illness, delusions, fake news, spiritual suppression, vibrational healing, psychic seriousness, droughts, and big pharma. On the 5th, Mars in conjuncts Chiron and Aries. Again, there's a lot of these in conjuncts to Chiron. Again, maybe we're feeling so numb, we're not feeling our wounds. Hi, Susan, out there in Pemberton. On the 6th, Venus trines Pluto at 27 degrees. That's very big, powerful wealth. Venus and Pluto at 27 degrees. This is Earth trines, good for Taurus as well. That's conjunct the fixed star Algol, 27 degrees of Taurus. Earth trines. Venus in Virgo is humble and likes to save money, and Pluto in Capricorn is like world domination and the big plutocrats, right? But it can be good. Could be good for the stock market. So it might be good if you want to invest at that time. On the 6th or the 7th, Mercury trines Neptune in Pisces. Now that is great for psychic work, for dreaming, for connecting with your ancestors or spirit guides, and lucid dreaming. It can be also tsunamis, disturbances with finances, and fake news anytime we're dealing with Neptune and Pisces. On the 8th, Venus enters Libra at 1:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 4:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, her home side. So that's a bit of a celebration, good news, good for relationships, balancing things out, justice, beauty, harmony, hopefully. And then on the 8th, Venus in conjunct Saturn in Pisces. So this can be overly rational and spiritual, don't mix. On the 8th, Mercury sextiles Pluto. That's an easy aspect to plumb the depths, to do some big, deep shadow work. On the 8th, the Sun in conjunct Chiron. Again, blind to your own vulnerabilities. All right, I'm going to try to slow down a bit now. Excuse me. On the November 9th at 10:25 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1:25 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Mercury enters Sagittarius, which is good for Sagittarians. It's good for truth-telling. It's good for yearning to travel, for feeling like a gypsy. It's metaphysical, it's philosophical, it's questioning, it's always asking big questions, international affairs, teachers, higher education, pets, justice. We all want justice. Okay, can be a bit naive too. November the 10th, Mercury squares Saturn in Pisces. This is like restrictions on freedom of speech around religions, which we're already seeing happening. Now, on November the 11th, which is 11/11, this is a big deal. Mars opposes Uranus at 1:11 p.m. That's Pacific Daylight Time, 4:11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is a big wild card because whenever we're dealing with Uranus, it is erratic, it's unpredictable, it's uncontrollable. It does rule the cryptocurrency market. It is dangerous. It's terrorism. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So again, kind of wild, crazy, exaggerated, over the top, can be dangers of terrorism and nuclear weapons as well. Kind of tsunamis as well when we're dealing with earthquakes. And they do have those energy weapons. November the 13th, new moon at 20 degrees of Scorpio, 1:27 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 4:27 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The moon opposes Uranus, conjuncts Mars, and trines Neptune. Again, could be a good day for dreaming. Okay, hi from Chicago and California. November the 13th, Sun opposes Uranus in Taurus at 20 degrees. Again, more of that wild card, rebellion, radical, deep state power struggles, big red alerts there. On the 15th, Mercury sextiles Venus in Libra. That's truth and romance. That's very nice. Be honest. Speak your truth. On the 15th, Venus in conjunct Uranus in Taurus. That can be bad for stocks and crypto markets. On the 16th, it's the same aspect. On the 17th, Mars trines Neptune. Can be very beautiful, but also deceptive. Secret, stealthy, could be nerve gas, virus releases, war by water, secret enemies, good for spiritual and creative work, and dark soul retrieval energy. But again, we're dealing with mysterious powers here and anger, aggression, Mars and Scorpio. It's in its ruling sign. But it'll be nice when, Mars and Scorpio, when Venus is in Libra, they're in their own signs, and that's good. So there can be way more balance there. Now on the 17th, the sun trines Neptune. That's a big spiritual light. But things that have been hidden can come to light, but also bank failures, market crashes, illusions, again, all planets can have positive and negative energies. And it seems to be this big. You can see the energy roller coastering around here. On the 17th, the sun conjuncts Mars. Now, this is a big deal as well in Scorpio, 9:42 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, November the 18th at 12:42 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That is a very big danger. Sun conjunct Mars, Mars Cazimi in the heart of the sun. It's very dark. It might be like the heart of darkness. You know what I mean? Energy could be very dangerous. Okay. On the 20th, the sun sextiles Pluto at 4:26 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Criminals could be released. So this could be hostages exchanged. Everything that's been hidden comes to light. On the 20th, Mercury trines Chiron in Aries. So we can tend to our wounds at that time. On the 21st, Mars trines Pluto. So the two malefics are in cahoots here. Again, this can be very dangerous. Lots of power struggles. Again, Mars, it's very good if you want to do a lot of emotional releasing, though, because they're supporting each other. Really let go of those karmic energies. Also, wealth. Pluto rules wealth. So it's your soul wealth. So this is the opportunity to really have a new sense of what you're worth. On the 22nd, the sun enters Sagittarius, finally lifting the mood. So things are more honest, more just, more optimistic. Courts and trials carry on at that point. Again, if you want to travel, think about traveling, going back to school, have some new courses. That's when we're in Sagittarius season. Okay, international diplomacy. On the 22nd, Venus opposes Chiron in Aries. Can be peace treaties or peace talks, ceasefires, diplomacy at that point. On the 23rd, the sun squares Saturn in Pisces. So again, the squares are hard aspects. And whenever you have Saturn, you have the hardest aspects. So again, people might be, speaking through their hats or telling you fantasies and nonsense. Sun and Sag doesn't wants to believe, but they're also good at calling out the truth, but it is danger, hidden attacks, blocks by water, international aid blockades. On the 24th, Mercury in conjunct Uranus and Taurus. Again, this could be difficult for information, could be internet outages. The net could go down, actually. On the 24th, Mars enters Sag. So we're now getting into more fiery energy. 2:15 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5:15 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This is a war on truth. Religious wars, international justice. On the 25th, Mars squares Saturn. Again, this is two difficult malefics squaring off. These are traditionally the two most difficult planets. Again, it could be international aids, wars with water, justice. Mars squares Saturn. It's big power struggles going on. On the 26th, Venus also in conjunct Uranus and Taurus. Now, Venus rules Taurus, so it's like you're saying one thing, they can't hear you at all, or they don't want to hear you. On the 27th, there's a full moon at 4 degrees of Gemini, 1:16 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 4:16 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Full moon in Gemini, it's about a completion of communications. It can be a peak moment to balance things out. I mean, Gemini is always like, I want it, I don't want it. There's that dual natured essence to it, but it's also a little bit more optimistic, and it's definitely good for talking. So there may be talks that come to a conclusion at that time. November the 27th, Mercury squares Neptune in Pisces. Again, this is international compassion efforts, international charity efforts being launched here. So there may be some big world effort to really step in and make some peace. and to be more compassionate here. On the 29th, that's my birthday, by the way, Sun in conjunct Jupiter in Taurus. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So something there is out of whack. The Sun, again, it speaks to frustrations with international laws maybe not being implemented fast enough. And on the 30th, Venus in conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. Now, Neptune is the higher octave of Venus. So again, bubbles, dreams may burst, romantic ideals are kind of disconnected. So that's a lot of stuff going on, I have to say myself. Okay, so now this is the stuff that you've been waiting for now, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm going to smudge everybody and myself again. And so the way this works is I have a special crystal here that I always use. This is my Herkimer diamond crystal, and I'm going to smudge that. And then I'm going to take the tarot cards here. Now, this is my Thoth tarot deck. And I'm going to smudge those cards, and I'm going to tune in to you all. And so I'm going to start with Aries, and I'm going to go through each sign. So again, everybody knows their sun sign, but if you also know your moon sign, your rising sign, or where any of your planets are, you can use all of these cards for that. And I'm also going to use a little, this is a small published deck that a friend of mine, Charles Hackbarth, he's an artist in Toronto, created. It's called the Dream Seekers Tarot, and it was calling to me to come in after I do the cards for each sign to give you a kind of little special extra card. All right, so Aries, Mars in Scorpio, that's your ruling planet. You get the Lovers. So I'd say definitely make love, not war. Choices, communicate more. Which side are you on, Aries? This is about the Lovers. It's about balancing your own inner masculine and feminine. Yes, I know about all the gender stuff, but this is all about polarity. So, choices. Do you choose to love? Do you choose to go to war? Do you see yourself in the other? That's really what polarity is all about. It's magnetism. Everything's made out of magnetism. And so we all have these inner opposite, complementary opposites, let's put it that way. And we need that to attract anything. So Aries, you have choices here to make around, do you want to see yourself as the other? Or do you want to accommodate someone else? It's not just about you. You're not in the world alone. Aries is like, I'm numero uno, I'm all by myself. It's the big bang, and this is where you have to make some choices around that. So Gemini, communications, thinking about what the other person wants, learning to love yourself a bit more, Aries. Okay, so now I'm going to use this special little deck here. Again, I've had this deck sitting here for a long time, and just going to give you some advice here, Aries. Okay, so Aries, what do you need? Hi from Fort Lauderdale. Aries. You have the Devil. Now, interestingly enough, you know how tarot cards work. The Devil is the other side of the Lovers. This is kind of perfect here, of course. So the Lovers is all about choices. It's about numerology. You see, so the Lovers is number 6 and the Devil is number 15. So better the Devil than the one you don't, or which side are you on? Again, the Devil, was always seducing you to the dark side, and so do we fall into the fear, or do we fall into the illusion? Who do we blame? The Devil is also about projection, and that's very much also the Lovers. So are you going to be a lover? Or are you going to be a hater? It's kind of like make peace, make war. Which side are you on? The Devil, don't go into the dark side, Aries. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do Taurus. So Taurus, all right, you just went through that big eclipse, of course, 5 degrees of Taurus. Okay, so Taurus. You get the wishing card. Now, I don't just use the 22 major arcana in this reading. I like to put a couple of extra cards in here. So Taurus, you get the wishing card, and every time this card shows up, I get to say, hey, I am your fairy godmother, Taurus. Anybody who's a Taurus, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, your rising, your nodes, whatever. I'm your fairy godmother, and I get to give you 9 wishes. Now, you have to be very careful about what you wish for. Right. Okay, so Taurus. This is like Jupiter in Pisces. Jupiter is exalted in Pisces, and so Jupiter's in Taurus right now. So this is really good luck for you. You want to think about what it is you want to manifest. And it's really all about charity and compassion and creativity and giving to others, Taurus. Okay. So the more wealth you make, the more you can pour onto other people. Okay. So Taurus, you get the wishing card. Maybe you don't need another card after that. I don't think so. Okay. So I'm going to smudge some more. People are saying that they need more smudging. And yes, things are pretty heavy in the world these days. So we have to try to stay as balanced as we can and support each other. It's the only way to go. All right. So Gemini. Gemini, you get the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So the Wheel of Fortune is like the planet Jupiter, which will enter your sign in 2024, by the way. So you want to plan now. So take some chances, take some risks. That's not so hard for a Gemini to do. Go back to school, get some new education. Trust that the universe has your back, Gemini. Okay. Um, so what do you need to do to get the ball rolling? Maybe you've been hedging and sitting on the fence in that typical Gemini fashion here. It could be good luck. It may be that you have to make a move to push that wheel down the road. Okay. So Wheel of Fortune is always good, Gemini. Okay. So let's give you an extra card too here. So for Geminis, Geminis, you get Temperance. Okay. So Temperance is like Sagittarius, basically. So again, this is your opposite side, Temperance. It's about becoming the other. It's about having empathy for the other and becoming them. You know, Temperance is about blending two opposing things, two different things, and making a third. So, Gemini, you need to have more empathy, more compassion, more sense of that there is no real opposition. It's really just a reflection of yourself. Okay. All right. So now, Cancer. So, Cancer, let's see what we got for you here. Cancer, you get the Tower. Okay. So the Tower is like Mars, and Mars is in Scorpio and Cancer, water sign. So all the water signs, in a way, are getting this trine. And so, what do you need to wake up, Cancer? I think the world is waking up. And so, this is like it may be shocking, it may be disturbing, it may disrupt your whole house, your whole belief system, your whole structure that you've built up all of these years. So, you're afraid that the sky is falling, but the sky and your house and your self belief kind of needs to fall apart right now for something else new to be born. Okay, so Cancer. This can mean this card is usually a difficult card to integrate, but if you're conscious that you need to make changes, then do it. Don't hold back. You are a cardinal sign, Cancer. You want to push that edge. So push forward with whatever you feel maybe is not upholding things that you believe in your life. You're a preserver, you're a mother, you're a nurturer. So this is where you kind of see red, maybe, what I mean, going, yeah, it's like the fire breathing dragon comes out here because, the fierce mother is the most strongest, most powerful, defending the children. So this may be Cancer where you really need to step it up and, breathe your fire. That's what's really coming to me right now. Breathe your fire, Cancer. Okay. So Cancer, Sun, Moon, all the signs in Cancer. Let's see, I'm going to give you an extra something. Welcome. You get the Chariot. Now, this is also the sign that relates to Cancer. So this is a doubly Cancer energy here. You're in the driver's seat, Cancer. It's also that sense of really needing to be protective. This is in the tarot, in the Kabbalah, this is called the Merkaba. And the Merkaba is the six-pointed star, which is a multi-dimensional vehicle, actually. It's a breathing technique. It's like a mantra, you could call it that, for traveling interdimensionally. So you need to be able to do that, Cancer, and see the bigger picture, and also to kind of transcend. You're very sensitive, you're emotional. Your heart must be breaking these days. So you need to be able to protect yourself and to send your love and your nurturing and your care out to the world as well. All right. So now, Leo. So Leo, let's see what you've got now. Everybody, if there's new people coming on, it's okay. This will be a replay after. Leo, you get the card of Leo. Okay, we're very much in sync tonight. So again, I was just thinking about this earlier, that all Leos and all Cancers are all exalted because, the sun rules Leo and the moon rules Cancer. So you don't really have to worry about anything on some level. So Leo rules the heart, rules strength, rules compassion. In this deck, it's called lust, your lust for life. Go to town with what your heart believes in, fight, have the strength, high from the Isle of Man. Follow your highest purpose. What is your big goal? What do you uphold above everything? Where is your heart? Put it on display. Lead people. Um, be in your power. Don't be afraid to show up on the world stage. This is your time. So Leos, the drama. Uh, the drama can be good drama, not just negative drama as well. You want to be the performer, you want to play the roles, you want to help people. So, use your power in positive ways. I was listening to actually the Leo King the other day. It was quite interesting. All right, now, so be the kings and queens, Leos, and be the leaders, the heart leaders. We need heart warriors right now. All right, so Leo, let's give you an extra card here. You also get the Tower. Okay, so again, some big revelation is going to come. Okay, this is like an epiphany. There is a positive side to the Tower. It's like, well, blows away all the previous whatever you thought it was. Now it can be destructive, but ultimately it can be a good thing too. Okay, so shaking up the old system here. So it could be that you want to rail on the powers that be. That would be a good way in a way. All right, so Virgo. Now, if you're born right in the beginning of Virgo, of course, Saturn's been sitting opposite your sun or whatever planets you have at 0 degrees of Virgo for the last while. So you're probably feeling very tired, very exhausted. And you get the card of the star, Virgo. So this is about seeing the bigger purpose, getting the higher perspective. It is Aquarius energy. And so, as Pluto's going to move into Aquarius in January, Virgo, this may mean that you need to step into a more radical, inventive, freedom loving, independent, but working with groups of people role. So the star, it's literally about wishing on a star. If you might want to go out and look at Venus and make a wish on her while she's the beautiful evening star right now. And also it's about breaking free of old restrictions and really reinventing yourself. It's Aquarius energy. It's about inventors, pioneers, marching to your own drummer, doing your own thing, embracing your quirks, loving your weird, and doing that, Virgo. And being the leader, being a thought leader. Virgos are very intelligent. Being the thought leader and taking people to a higher perspective. That's really, really important that we do that because everybody is getting very emotional and very upset about what's going on in the world. So what's going on from the higher perspective, Virgo? You're good at the details, the nitty gritty little details. Maybe you need to take your focus way out, way out from the micro out to the macro, Virgo. Okay, this would be a good exercise for you to do. Okay, so the star. All right. Now, Virgos, let's give you an extra card here. Okay, so Virgo, you get salvation. Now, I think this card probably has to do with like Judgment Day. This is not a traditional card, so it doesn't, some of them have numbers and this one does not. So this might be an extra card here. So Virgos, if you need salvation or if you want to save somebody else, ultimately you can only save yourself. And what needs to be saved, actually? Maybe you want to think about that as well. Or what would your salvation look like? I mean, this is a pretty intense card here. It looks like there's angels coming to help you, coming to your rescue. So for Virgos, that's a good thing. I might pray to the angels if you're not clear about what needs to be saved or redeemed in this context. Okay? All right. So Libra. Now, you're going to be very happy. Venus enters your sign this month. So Libra, let's see what you've got here. Okay, Libra. Okay, you have the Death card. All right, so not to freak out. Don't worry. Death card just means change, Libra. Okay, so what needs to be cut out? What needs to be cut away? That last eclipse was ruled by Venus, so you may have to still dig deeper into your soul purpose, into your truth, into your shadows, and cut away a lot of old stuff, relationships, toxic relationships in your life. Okay, so you have to dig deeper, Libra. Okay, the death card can be a good thing. It's regeneration, it's getting rid of old toxins, it's about listening to your soul purpose. Okay, all right. So Libra, let's give you an extra card here. Of course, you are going to be much happier when Venus is in your sign. So let's see what you got here. All right. You also get the death card. Okay. So Libra, you get 2 death cards now. The Native Americans say, they have a saying that says, it is a good day to die. So it really helps us to live fully in the moment, not to play around, not to be light. We have to go, okay, if this is my last day to live, what would I do? And you have to do it, okay? There's no what if, maybe, Librans tend to do that. I don't know, what do you think, kind of thing. You have to know from your deepest soul what's worth living for and do it. Okay. All right. So Scorpio. I thought this was Klingons. I don't know what that's all about. Okay. Scorpio, you get the moon card here. So the moon card here, the number 18 in the tarot is like Pisces, and again, water. So as Saturn turns direct in Pisces, yes, it kind of indicates that Scorpios will be able to move forward a little bit more. Again, it's like going through the dark night of the soul. And I think for a lot of us, that's what it feels like right now. There's a lot of fear around World War III happening. That is an agenda. It's also very possible. We need to stay at the highest vibration possible and not go into the fear. And this is exactly what this is about. This card here is the dark side of the moon. It's the unknown. It's the hidden. It's the shadows. It's projection. And so we need to feel that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So no matter how dark things may appear, things may seem, things may really be, I can feel, as a lot of people can feel, all the grief. My heart chakra has been aching for weeks now for the poor children and the people that are suffering in the Middle East and all over the world. There has to be light at the end of the tunnel. We have to keep our faith strong. Pisces, faith, absolute faith. Call upon your guardian angels. Focus on peace, focus on comfort, focusing on helping souls into the light, back to the source where they came. Okay? So Scorpio, dark night of the soul. So in a way, we could say the world is going through that too. It's a good day to die in the Klingons. Okay, thank you. Okay, this is Judgment Day now. So this is number 20 in the tarot, which is traditionally also about rebirth. This is one of the 3, what they're called mother letters in the Hebrew alphabet, which is what the 22 major arcana are based on. Judgment Day. So the angel Gabriel comes and pronounces judgment. Now, I was doing some reading about Jewish history, and a lot of this, born again Christians and also Jewish Zionists, there is a small group of them, unfortunately, which is controlling the politics there, which want to force Judgment Day. They believe that this will make the Messiah appear. And Jews, of course, don't believe in Jesus. They don't believe that he was the Messiah. They're still waiting for the Messiah to appear, and it comes at the end times. And a lot of Christians are wanting this war as well because they believe that Jesus will come back. So Judgment Day. Now, again, whatever you feel, religious, not religious, the only way we're judged is really we judge ourselves. There may be a higher judgment, of course, and there is a higher judgment. But if you want to look into your soul and realize I have nothing to regret, I haven't really done anything wrong, I have nothing to be called upon for, that I've done wrong, I've harmed anybody, anything like that, then you don't have anything to worry about, right? But it is a sign of rebirth. Okay, so again, both of these cards are about rebirth. Okay, so Sagittarius. Sagittarius, let's see what you got here. You did the Hermit. Okay. So you need to take some time to go within and to really listen to your own inner wise guide. That's what the Hermit's all about. It also has to do with your digestion. And I don't know about other Sagittarians, but my digestion has been very off these days. Now, the Hermit is a very protective card. So people with Sagittarius, the Hermit is like, he's usually shown as a wise old man holding a lamp, which is the lamp of inner light to guide you. So listen to your gut wisdom, Sagittarius. tend to be a little bit too fiery, sometimes a little bit too judgmental. Listen to your own gut wisdom. It would be good for you to get into nature as well. Nature heals. Okay, nature heals. Walk barefoot. It's getting a little cold here up in Toronto, but you can still walk barefoot. Get grounded, put your back to a tree. Do some nature work. Appreciate nature. That'll help you to stay balanced. Okay, so let's see. Let's give an extra card for Sagittarius. You get the Empress. So this is number 3. So again, this is about self-nurturing, self-love, compassion, being the mother energy. How can you nurture the children? How can you nurture your inner child? How can you feed the mothers? How can you be the mother? It's like Venus energy. Again, beauty, more philosophy, more optimism into the world. Okay. All right. So Capricorn, what have you got here? Now, as Saturn moves direct, also for Capricorns and Aquarius, because Saturn is your ruling planet, there's Saturn at 0 degrees of Pisces. There's the Fool card here. So Capricorn, this is a brand new beginning. You could call it your own personal reset, Aquarius too. Get ready when Pluto's going to hit 0 Aquarius again, January the 19th, 20th, 2024. So be the Fool. The Fool is the card of enlightenment. The Fool lives fully in the moment. Hi, those of you who've just joined. The Fool, Capricorn, Aquarius. Be the Fool. Live fully in the moment. That's all there really is. We don't know when we're going to die. Nobody knows that. So again, trust, innocence, being like the child, preserving the inner child. Really feeding that. The Fool is always about we've come full circle, starting a brand new cycle. So do it. Just do it. Just trust, be innocent. You're an old soul. You've been around the block a million times. So what have you got to worry about anyway? I don't want this to be misinterpreted, but from the soul's level, we're just here to experience things. There are poor innocent children that are being hurt. But from the soul's perspective, there is no pain, there is no suffering, there is no hurt. This is just an experience that the soul is going through. Okay. Now there is karmic justice. I do believe in that. So people who do wrong will be punished eventually. Okay. Hi from Buffalo. Okay. So the Fool, Capricorn. Okay. Now we're going to pull a card for Capricorn as well. Okay. An extra card here. You get the Dreamer. Okay. So Capricorns, you're definitely building a new dream. That was the Fool with this Dreamer card here. Again, this is 2 Fools. This has been so synchronous tonight. There's been two deaths, 2 Fools now. Okay, this is both. They're echoing each other, right? 2 Fools here. I guess 2 Fools are better than 1. So don't be afraid what anybody else thinks, Capricorn. I mean, you're usually very conservative. I know you do feel a lot underneath. You don't like to express it, but you feel a lot. So take a big chance, trust that the universe has your back, don't be afraid to move ahead. All right, now Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. I did Virgo a while back. Okay, so Aquarius, what have you got going on here? Okay, you've got the number 5 card. This is the Hierophant, the Pope, the High Priest, the Imam, the Rabbi. So the 5s are always a bit difficult, a bit of a test here. Now the test is you have to learn to listen to your higher self. That's what this is all about. What we imagine or project the rabbi, the priest, the imam does is someone who has a direct line to God, but everybody has their own direct line to God, to their higher self. This is the whole point of the tarot, is to teach you how to get in touch with your higher self. So Aquarius, you're usually out there kind of in your head, or you want revolution, freedom, but you have to stay very grounded. This is Taurus energy, another fixed sign actually. Get grounded, speak your truth. Okay, and it's also very feminine energy in this deck. It shows Isis, the goddess Isis, actually, the ancient Egyptian goddess Isis, protecting and speaking the feminine truth, again, which is body knowing and not intellectual, not analytical. Okay, so Aquarius, number 5. The test is to listen to your higher self. Okay, so now let's get another card here for Aquarius. you get the High Priestess. So the High Priestess, the number 2 card traditionally is like the moon. So you need to reflect, Aquarius. Again, these are both earth, water, feminine, intuitive, receptive, yin energies for Aquarius. So get out of your head, get out of your fixed ideas. That's the downside of Aquarius, and listen to the emotions. It's the moon, Venus. She's like Venus, the High Priestess, but she is the moon. So, and again, there's two sides to everything. You know, the High Priestess is about living in the rational, but also the intuitive. And also, she rules the new moon more than the full moon energy. Listen to your dreams. This is very much Aquarius about listening to your dreams. The High Priestess always urges us to cross that bridge into the dream world and understand that our souls are dreaming. And when we're awake, our souls are asleep having this dream. Okay, so High Priestess energy, reflection. All right, and now we're at Pisces already. Okay, so Pisces. All right, November feels like it's going to be pretty intense, kids. All right, Pisces, you get the king or the emperor. So Pisces, now with Saturn in Pisces, you do have to take responsibility. Okay, there's no denial for you anymore. You're going to have to face karmic responsibility. You're going to have to grow up. You're going to have to be more mature, although this is Aries energy, but it represents new beginnings. So again, also Pisces, work with the 4 elements. The, you know, in the West we use fire, earth, air, water. That's the order of the signs in the zodiac as well. So always make sure you're working with the 4 elements. It is about Pisces exerting their power and their influence in the world. Okay. This is using your intuition, your dreams as kind of like your leading energy. You know, it's like Aries, we're going to initiate spiritual energy into our actions. Okay. So Pisces, don't be afraid to be leaders. Don't be afraid to step up and take responsibility for your addictions, your denial, your, you know, all of that downside that Pisces does. But Pisces can also be the kings here now. Okay. So don't be afraid to step into your power. Okay, now Pisces, you get an extra card here. You get the Lovers. Okay, so again, Pisces, this is like Gemini energy. Pisces is what's called a mutable sign. Gemini is also a mutable sign, along with Sagittarius and Pisces, right? So mutable signs. So the Lovers, so Pisces, you know, love yourself enough to own your own power, to have some boundaries. That's the other thing about the King, the Emperor, the 4. Boundaries, foundation, power. It can also mean a lover coming into your life. It's also about balancing yourself. It's also, because it's Gemini energy, it's about integrating the intuition and the intellect. It's very important that we do that. And when we do that, we have a balance, we have a unity, we have oneness, even though it seems like there's 2. Okay, and we need more unity in the world right now. All right, so thank you very much, all of you who were here. If you came in a bit late, this will be recorded and you can listen to it after. And thank you for joining me here in the Cosmic Intelligence Agency. Please join the Cosmic Intelligence Agency, go to their workshops, and if you want to get in touch with me for private readings, I am at taratarot.com. So sending you all the best blessings. All right, take care. See you next month. Blessings to you. Thank you. All right, bye-bye.